Look what you've done.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vortex, and today, Clippy. If you've been scrolling through YouTube comments recently, you may have seen this little goober named Clippy. It's a 90s era office assistant that this guy, Luis Rosman, is using to mobilize the masses. See, Rosman is a longtime advocate for consumer rights, right to repair, all that. And recently, he's angry because, I don't know if you've noticed, but companies have kind of thrown the whole consumer rights thing in the trash. Despite being literal money printers, they aren't content owning and controlling all the means to make a living online. Now, they want to own both the products and the consumers who bought them, forcing shady user agreements, needless subscriptions, and selling your private data to random advertisers. Now, this isn't my first rodeo. I've seen movements come and go. At first, when he asked everyone to change their profiles to Clippy, I'll admit I thought it was going to be another performative black square stunt that everyone would forget in 2 weeks. However, after seeing his second video, I understood this wasn't just about awareness, it's about fixing the problem. And it really is a problem. These companies are laying off more and more people, censoring voices, and abandoning their ethics for profit. And the platforms they own have divided users into echo chambers where they blame their neighbors rather than those with power. If the people don't say enough is enough now, we might not have that chance to fight in the future. But can Clippy, which, let's be honest, is kind of just a silly meme, really take on some of the most powerful people in the world? Well, maybe, but despite whatever nihilism you may have, in a world where you'll own nothing, what do you really have to lose? But if the Clippy Crusade really wants to make an impact, I have 3 suggestions that the Legion might want to hear. First, you need to be clear about what this movement is and what its motives are. Right now it's sort of a fun let's take over the internet type thing, so unfortunately when most people see Clippy, they see a meme. What you need is for the Clippy brand to have some weight to it. One way to do this is by having a clear platform to message on. I should be able to explain to anyone what Clippy is in a 1-sentence pitch, but unless someone's already familiar with right to repair, they most likely aren't even aware of what you're fighting for. But a great example of what a good platform could look like is how Zoran campaigned in New York. Because if you ask me who Zoran is, I can say, oh, Zoran, he wants to tax billionaires and make the city affordable. Easy, rolls off the tongue. Maybe the Clippy Crusade could say, protecting and expanding consumer rights to protect us from predatory companies. Despite having no context, anyone can relate and agree with that message. It's perfect. Second, the movement is obviously very top-heavy. While leaders are important, having only one makes you a glass cannon. Luckily, Lewis already thought ahead and made a newsletter, avoiding risks like shadow bans, but still, you shouldn't depend on only one YouTube channel as the base of your movement, especially when your enemy owns the algorithm. If you want your movement to grow stronger and be more reliable, you need a place where your community can talk to each other outside of YouTube, somewhere full of Clippies where everyone's on the same page and can organize their own campaigns. This will allow more leaders to emerge and make casual members less likely to leave when the meme dies down. This could be a Reddit or a Discord or a new site entirely, as long as it makes members feel empowered and connected to their comrades. Lastly, the movement needs to be more active so it maintains momentum. Too many people are still unaware and there aren't enough ways for people to take part in it. If this continues, the movement will lose steam. A simple way to feed the Clippy base is collabs and interviews with popular figures, but that depends a lot on Luis. Another way is to have an incentive structure for creators. Anytime you see Clippy in thumbnail or title, watch the video and boost it. This will reward creators for covering the movement, creating a snowball effect where more and more people start talking about it. However, more is still needed. The community should go out and take advantage of every opportunity they can for name recognition. An example of a community that's really good at this is the Deltarune community. Their music, their characters, their symbolism is everywhere. I mean, look at their invasion of W Place. There should be 1,000 Clippies on W Place. I should be seeing a paperclip emoji across all my YouTube shorts. Not that I watch YouTube shorts or anything. I meant across my YouTube. I don't watch YouTube shorts. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Legion must have something to do or they'll get bored. You know, with these 3 steps, I think you could really turn this quote-unquote meme into a real political threat, capable of pressuring both companies and governments. Despite how powerless you may feel, things do happen, but only when average people come together and show who really holds the cards. I was also going to cover where I think the movement's headed and where it should channel its energy, but let's be honest, I'm a random channel with like 60 subscribers. You've heard me yap enough, unless you want to subscribe, because I will definitely be making similar videos in the future. But now I want to focus on something more important. What should you be doing right now? Obviously watch Lewis's videos and join his campaign and all, but beyond just following orders, what can you do to make a difference? And I think it's pretty clear. This only works if we can convince and rally the masses, meaning we need to both spread and strengthen this movement. Most simply, I need you to show some solidarity. If you aren't going to change your profile picture, I need you to make a video like this. Doesn't have to be good, copy me bar for bar if you want. Just try to have better audio. It's hard guys, I'm working on it. But if you can't do that, post Clippy on all your social media platforms and inform people. You need to stop punching left and right and convince more people to look up. If you do nothing else, if you aren't willing to join, at least turn one person into a Clippy. I don't think you Clippies are off the hook either. You don't have the luxury of watching change happen. You need to be the change, online and off the screen. What I need you to do is just to meet another Clippy. If you're going to identify with this movement, you need to know who you're fighting with and understand that you're not just fighting for yourself. You need to build a coalition that goes beyond Clippy and allies with other movements. Because if we want a better world, we'll have to fight for it. Our revolution will not be televised. And those are my main thoughts. As I said before, didn't cover everything I wanted, but I think it's probably better to save that for a future video that could apply to any movement. I may make a video on communication or community as well, but I want my next video to be a silly one, so until then, this has been the Vortex. Peace!